Yes, my dear friends, I welcome you all to this YouTube class. So let us get into this first chapter, that is introduction. So in this chapter, you will learn why we need to study this economics, what are the central problems of an economy, organization of economic activities like central planned economy and the market economy, positive and normative economics, microeconomics and macroeconomics, means the differences between micro and macroeconomics. To make you understand, we have kept some concepts. So let us take the first concept, that is a simple economy. So in every society, people need many goods and services to lead their life, means to survive in life. So we all know we need some goods and services like food, shelter, clothes, transportation facility, doctor, teacher, lawyer, drivers, policemen, and some other kinds of agents which helps to lead our life. So to survive in our life, we need these goods and services. So if we take the list of those goods and services, which is so large, means unlimited. So we have many wants or huge wants, but at the same time, if we see the individuals, there is no individual being with all these goods and services. Means no individual has all these goods and services, but some family may own some of the goods and services. If we take that farmer family, so there that family may own a piece of land, couple of buffalo, sheep, goat, and some labor services. Like that weaver family, that weaver may have some yarn, some of cotton, and some other instruments which are required for weaving clothes. So here, each of these decisions making units can produce some goods and services by using the resources that it has and use part of the produce to obtain the many other goods and services which it needs. Means here these farmer family, weaver family, and teacher, so these all decision making units which they can use some of goods and services which they has, and some of the goods and services they can use to produce or to obtain the other goods which they want, which they need. Each individual can thus use her resources to fulfill her needs. It goes without saying that no individual has unlimited resources compared to his or her needs. Means many, it means all of us are seeking the uh, resources. Means we are not having abundant level of resources. So as a result, the family is forced to make, means the individual is forced to make a choice between the different goods and services that are available. For example, if you want more of a goods, you have to sacrifice another good. It means if you want to more of agriculture land, you have to sacrifice to build a building. Means to other purposes, you have to sacrifice other purposes. Like if you want to more and more education or better education for the children, it may have to give up some of the luxuries of life. Here everyone faces a scarcity of resources and therefore has to use the unlimited resources in the best possible way to fulfill her needs. Means we have to use the resources in a optimal level. So this is what we have to understand. Second concept, that is central problems of an economy. So here we have to recall whatever we have discussed in our previous section or previous concepts. So there, after learning or after seeing the concept, we have understood that the wants are unlimited and wants satisfying resources are limited. So there we have understood that the resources are scarce. So since we are having the resources are scarce now, that leads to some economic problems. So if we are not having that scarcity in the resources, there would have been no economic problem, and you would not have studied this economics either. Means in the course of the basic economic activities like production, exchange, and consumption of goods and services. So every society has to face scarcity of resources, and it gives rise to problem. So in the course of those economic activities, we find that scarcity of resources. We cannot produce the goods and services how much we want. It means an individual who want many goods and services, can he able to produce or he can able to purchase those goods? No, because he has limited resources. No, that's why he cannot purchase or he cannot consume all the goods and services which he need or she need. Like, so we cannot produce the goods how much that producer want. It means a producer cannot produce that much of production how much he want, because he has limited resources. That's why he can produce the goods and services within his resources or with the availability of resources. In our previous section only we have understood the wants are satisfying or the resources which are availing, so those are limited. That's why that producer, that consumer cannot fulfill or cannot able to produce more how much they want. So every society has to face scarcity of resources. These scarce resources are competing usage. Means whatever the resources we are having, those are the scarce, and along with that they are having, they are competing usage. Means those resources we are using for many purposes. Okay, if we take the example of lands, that land we are using for the farming purpose. Along with that farming, so we can use land for construction of building to make a business. Okay, like that single land we can use for various purposes. So society has to decide on how to use its scarce or limited resources. So let us understand which are the some basic problems of an economy. So in that, first comes what to produce, or what is produced, and in what quantities. So this is first, that is what is produced, sorry, what to produce or what is produced, and what in what quantities. Society must decide what to produce, whether to produce more of goods like food, clothing, housing, or luxurious goods, or that society has to produce more agriculture goods, or it has to produce whether to use resources in education or building military services. So this is the first kind of question. So where, yes, the first problem of an economy, that is what to produce or what is produced and what is in what quantities. So every society has to decide what to produce, whether that society has to produce food articles or clothing, housing, or luxurious goods, or that society has to produce more of agriculture goods, more of that industrial goods, or that economy use that resources in education or health or building military services. This kind of problem which comes first. So in which area we have to, or in which goods and services we have to use the available resources. That kind of problem which we face when we are having that resources are scarce. Like second problem, how to produce, or how are their goods produced. Means so once we decided to produce goods, then second kind of question, second kind of problem arises, that is how to produce. Means society has to decide how to produce the goods and services, from which resources how we have to produce that goods, whether to use more of labor oriented techniques or machine oriented techniques, which technologies to adapt in the production of goods. That kind of problem arises. We all know why this kind of problem arises, because the resources are limited. This is why we need or we have to use the available resources in a precise manner. No, that's why which kind of resource we have to use, or how much resources we have to use to produce the goods, or how we have to produce those goods and services which we need. This is the second kind of problem. And third, that is for whom to produce. For whom to produce is the third problem of an economy, or for whom are these goods produced. This is the third problem of an economy. So here also the society has to decide whether or not ensure a minimum amount of consumption for everyone in the economy, like education, health facility. These should be available freely for everyone in the economy or not. That is what we have to decide. Means after deciding production of the goods and the use of the goods, we have to decide for whom we have to produce these goods. Okay, so that we have to decide whether that education should be available freely, or that basic health facility should be available freely or not. So this is what we have to decide. This is the third kinds of this is the third kind of problem of an economy. Thus every economy faces the problem of allocation of the scarce resources to the production of different possible goods and services, and distribution among the individuals. So this is what problem of an economy. I recall once again, problem of economy are what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. This kind of problem comes because of scarcity of resources. So first every society has to decide what to produce. Means whether the society has to produce food, clothing, housing, or luxurious goods, or that society has to use that available resources to produce agriculture good, or whether that resources should use on health facility or education facility or nation building services like military services. So that society has to decide where that resources has to channelize. So this is first. Second, how to produce. Means there are various kinds of techniques to produce. Like among labor and machine oriented techniques are these are two. Okay, among these techniques, which technique we have to use? That is what the second kind of problem, how to produce. Okay, so third kind of for whom to produce means yes, after deciding production of the goods and techniques which we wanted to use, so we have to decide for whom to produce. Okay, means whether we have to produce the goods for the rich person or the poor person, whether we have to use the available resources to make free education, or to give free education, or to give basic health facility, or the paid service of education, or the health facility. So this is what we have to decide. The reason behind this economic problem is scarcity of resources. So when we are not having the scarcity in resources, then these kinds of problems would not arise. So thus every economy faces the problem of allocation of the scarce resources to the production of different possible goods and services, and distribution among the individuals. This is what central problems of an economy. Come at third concept, that is production possibility frontier. The theory in which said how to use available resources in best possible way, because the resources are limited and wants are unlimited. So this is theory. In this theory said how we can allocate the available resources in the best possible ways. It means in that kind of manner where that available resources can use in the best possible ways, or in an optimal level. It means way that producer consumer can get more profit or more satisfaction. So this is what we understand after seeing the concept, that is production possibility frontier. So here the society has to decide how much on how much of each the resources to use in the production of different goods and services. This is what we understand in this from this concept. Or here society has to determine how to allocate its scarce resources among the different goods. That is what we understand from this concept. The same theory known as production possibility set. Okay, let us define what is production possibility set. It means the theory says all the possible combinations of two goods that can be produced from a given amount of resources and given stock of technology. So that is what we understand. That is what the production possibility frontier. So to make you understand, they have taken example. So let me take one more example, or the other example which is similar to that the example which given in the textbook. Let us understand the theory with the help of example. So in my example, I have taken different numbers by taking the same crop or the same articles whichever used in that textbook. Okay, there are three possibilities, say A, B, C. So I have taken two articles like corn and cotton. So there are three possibilities, A, B, C. Okay, so if we take the first combination, that is A combination, in that A possible combination, so there that producer can use that entire resources, whatever the resources he has, no, so that entire resources he can use to produce 10 units of cotton, 0 units of corn. This is one of the possibilities where he can use that entire the resources to produce that cotton instead of or with the corn, or with he can merely use that resources to produce only cotton. This is the first kind of combination. So if we take the second combination, that is B combination, or B possibility, where he or she can produce, or he or she can wish to produce some units of corn and along with the cotton, then he can distribute the available resources in that manner, or in another manner where he can produce 2 units of corn and only 7 units of cotton. So it means no hard and fast rule to produce only 2 and 7 units of corn and cotton simultaneously respectively. But according to theory, if we want to produce some more units of one goods, then we have to sacrifice some units of the another good, because we are having scarce resources, no, we are having the limited resources and technology, no. So with that technology only we have to produce, no, we cannot produce more and more both of good. Okay, that's why that producer in this example, that producer wanted to produce 2 more units of that good. So at that time what he has to do, it means what he had done, he had decreased the amount of the cotton, means from 10 to 7. So that is what the theory says. It means that is what we have to understand. So the third combination, that is C possible combination, where that producer can use entire resources to produce only corn instead of using on cotton. So this is the third possible combination. So where that producer want to produce want to use the entire the resources on that corn, then he can the resources which will not available to him to produce that cotton. That's why the production of that cotton which will be 0, means so if he want to produce 4 or the more units from the earlier combination, then he uses all the resources on that corn. So when he uses all the resources to produce that corn, then the resources will not available to produce that cotton, no. So that the production of that cotton which will be 0. So in this combination we can produce the goods. For example, a society needs a huge amount of corn, then it can adopt a third possible possibility means so here I am going to say that so if the society want to have more of a corn at the time that society can choose this third possible combination, that is C combination. So there we have produced totally 4. So let me see. So in that third possible combination, there we have produced 4 units of corn. Okay, why we have chosen this kind of possibility? Because that society need more of corn. No, that's why we can use this kind of possibility. So there, if we use this kind of possibility, then we can get more corn. So in another example, so if that society want more cotton, so at that time, if that society want more society want to produce more of cotton, at that time that society can take the first combination, that is A combination or A possibility. Okay, this is what that theory says. Yes. So if we locus all the possible combinations of the goods, we get one concave shaped curve. So that is what production possibility frontier. Production possibility frontier is nothing but it is the locus of all the possible combinations of two goods which can be produced with the given level of technology and resources. Okay. So there is a reason behind why we the concave shaped curve we get after the locusing of all the possible combinations of two goods. The reason behind is opportunity cost. Okay, we have understood that we have limited resources, no? Yes, with that limited resources we have to produce the goods, no? So if we want to produce some more units of one goods, then we have to sacrifice the some units of another good, no? Due to sacrifice of the units of some goods, so we get that concave shaped curve. So I repeat once again, to produce the more units of one good, we have to sacrifice the production of another good, because we have limited resources, no? Therefore we cannot produce both goods more and more. Thus there is always the cost of having a little more of one good in terms of the other the amount of the other good that is to be forgone. So this is what opportunity cost means. I clarify by giving one more example. Yes, say you are having 100 rupee with you. Okay, so there is a banana and apple. So per kg banana is 25 rupees and per kg apple is 100 rupees. So we can create some possibilities here. So let us see a combination or a possibility where entire 100 rupees we can use here to purchase that apple. Then how much apples we can purchase? We can purchase only 1 kg of apple, because the per kg apple is 100. That's why we are having that 100 rupees, no? So we can use that 100 rupees to purchase 1 kilo of apple. This is the first kind of possible combination. So like second kind of combination where so we can purchase 2 kilos of, if we want to purchase 2 kilos of banana, then how much rupees we have spent here to purchase the 2 kilos of banana? How much rupees we have to pay? 50 rupees, because per kg banana is 25 rupees. Then how much rupees remain? 50 rupees. So then how much apple we can purchase? Instead of 1 kg, yes, we can purchase only half kilos. Means we have sacrificed half kilos of apple. This is what that half kilo is nothing but opportunity cost. Means to purchase 2 kgs of banana, means 2 kgs of that banana, how much apple we have sacrificed here? Half kgs of apple. This half kg of apple is nothing but that is opportunity cost of 2 kgs of banana. Like, so if we draw, or if we create one more kind of possible combination, that is 3 combination, there if that individual want to purchase 4 kgs of banana, then how much rupees he has to pay? totally 100 rupees, means that entire 100 rupees he has to pay on the purchase of that banana. Then how much rupees remained at him? Okay, nothing, means that whatever the income, whatever the money he has, no, he has spent on that banana, then nothing remained, or there is it means that income has become zero, so then he cannot purchase that apple, then the purchase of that apple which will be zero. So this is third kind of combination possibility. So if that individual want to purchase more of banana, at that time he can use that third combination and that third possibility, where he can purchase 4 kgs of banana. If that individual or if that person want to have more of apple, at that time he can use the first combination, that is A combination, where he can purchase totally one by using that entire 100 rupees 1 kg of apple. So here in the third combination we have increased the purchase of that apple, no, from 2 to 4, means here we wanted to purchase 2 more units of that banana, no. So to purchase 2 more units of that banana, that consumer or that individual has to sacrifice some units of that apple, no. Yes, he has sacrificed another half kilos also. So this is what opportunity cost. Here the opportunity cost is nothing but the cost of forgone, the cost of sacrifice. So this is what opportunity cost, how much we sacrifice to get something. So that is what opportunity cost. Okay, so this is what we have to understand. This is what said under that production possibility frontier. So I repeat once again, production possibility frontier, it is the theory where we get or we understand that how to use the available resources in best possible ways. So when we are suffering, or when we are seeking, when we are having the problem of the scarce resources. So the theory known as in the production possibility set. So it means the theory says that all the possible combinations of the goods and services that can be produced from a given amount of resources and given stock of technology. To make you understand, they have given a kind of tabulary example. So with that we can easily understand yes, which kind of combination we have to use when we need the more of goods. So this is what production possibility frontier. In our next class we are going to discuss the organization of economic activities concept. Hope you have understood what I said in our today's class. Thank you. Let me recap the concepts whichever we have discussed in our today's class. First, that is simple economy. So in this we have understood that wants are unlimited but the resources are limited. Therefore the society has to decide how much to use resources to produce goods and services. Like second concept which we have discussed, that is central problems of an economy. So in this we have understood that since wants are unlimited and wants are satisfying resources are limited, this leads to problem of choice. So scarcity is the root of all the problems of choice. So some basic economic problems are like what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. This is what we have discussed in that problems of an economy. Thereafter the third concept which we have discussed, that is production possibility frontier. So here the theory says how to allocate the available resources, means scarce resources, in the best possible way among the different goods. This is what we have discussed. The production possibility theory means it indicates or it says that all the possible combinations of two goods which can be produced with the given level of resources and technology, means with the given resources how best we can utilize the resources among the different goods. That is what we understood in this production possibility theory. And the production possibility frontier is nothing but production possibility curve. It means it is the curve which we can draw by the locus of all the possible combinations of two goods which can be produced with the given level of resources and technology. This production possibility frontier or curve which we can draw or which we can form by locusing all the possible combinations or all the possibilities of two goods which we can produce with a given level of resources and technology. So this is what we have discussed in our today's class. So I hope you all have understood what I said in our today's class. In our upcoming class, we will take care the rest of the concepts which kept in this first chapter. Thank you.